What up, good people? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. This ain't gonna be a long live at all, so I'm gonna come on here and say what I need to say, and then I'm getting off. I'm trying to position this computer so it'll stay up. What is that? Oh, y'all, not together, but together at the same time. Anywho, how y'all day going? Hopefully, it's been a great day. My day overall so far has been pretty good. Um, but I experienced something this morning where um God kind of sat with me and dealt with my perspective on something, dealt with my heart on something. And I wanted to come and share it because I think maybe it'll help someone else if they are also dealing with this type of thing. So, as someone who is actively always being gang stalked, there's no place that I go and somebody don't have something to say. There's no place that I go and somebody doesn't have something to say. Any place you can think of, somebody is always showing up either to say something indirectly, which people do a whole lot. They say a whole lot of stuff indirectly, or they'll pretend like they're having conversations with people on the phone. All of these things, they make up stories. It's just stupid stuff, right? But today, I walked into a place and I complimented these individuals because I experience a lot of people who always got something to say. These people, I know they talk about me. They might think that I don't, but I know they talk about me when I leave or when I excuse me, when I leave or when I am at a distance from them, right? But I appreciate that. Why? Because I'm always constantly dealing with people and their foolery concerning something that's never their business, but they make it their business. And so apparently one of the people who I gave that compliment must have said something to their other coworker. Cool, whatever. So then this coworker, this is a coworker who at this establishment I have had to deal with um experience they nastiness or they whatever already, right? But it irked me the first time. So the second time the person did it again. And so I caught myself responding and I told them the first time I don't like fake. I told them this time I don't like fake. I can't stand people being fake. I was ready to be like, you know what? I'ma just make sure that I don't even come in here when this person is working their shift. I'ma wait till they not even working their shift and then I'll come back in here. But as I went and I sat and I did what I was doing to relax and continue enjoying my day, right? God spoke to me and He dealt with my heart concerning the situation. A lot of the times, we're put in situations, especially when it's constant attack, it's constant persecution, and we don't realize all the time that the enemy will use that, right? To the point where we don't even want to deal with the things or the people that we're called to deal with. And so because there's so much persecution or there's so many things being done towards us, one, yes, of course, we have to practice always making sure we keep a soft heart, right? A strong mind and a soft heart. But eventually, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care um what point you get to in your elevation journey. I don't care who you are. People get fed up of stuff. Now how they respond to stuff is going to fluctuate, right? Because people have the different abilities when it comes to how they respond to things. But for me, as God sat and was dealing with me concerning this situation, right? He pointed out to me that the people who give me the responses that they give me, those are the main ones who need my presence. And they need my presence because one, they get to see their reflections, right? There is no reason you as a grown adult, and I don't care what span of life you in, whether you are um I'll say adult because teens and everything else, they go through different things. They still have to mature, right? But if you 25 and up, right? we'll say 25 and up, because we know some people don't really mature even at 25, but we'll say 25 and up. If you're 25 and up, there's no reason that somebody walking in the room should disturb you so much to where it pulls out your insecurities to where you feel like you have to do your best to try and humble someone or make somebody feel some type of way just because you feel some type of way. God sat with me and he said, those are the exact people who need you. One, because they need to see the reflection of who they are in their heart posture towards people, whether they know them personally or not. And two, because you are the reflection of what healing looks like. Hear me. It has taken so much for me to get to this space to where I don't respond all the time. Can I say that some of these things that take place don't get on my nerves? No, I can't say that. I can't say that at all, because a lot of times it does. It's just people being nasty just because that's who they are. They feel like they have done all of this work, literally doing so much work to obtain all of these things that's really only for their selfish gain. Is not to actually do anything else but besides their own selfish gain. And they feel like because they have gained all of these things materially, or they have gained all of these things status wise, that they have reached this point to where they can look down on the people that they already internally feel like are better than them. And it's not because the person acts like that, it's just because that's how they feel. But those are the very same people that we're sometimes called to help get free. People don't realize they're still in bondage when you feel the need to show up and treat people a certain way just because you feel a certain way. That's negative or makes you feel small in the presence of somebody else that's not even thinking about you in no negative way. That's not acting negatively towards you. And the sad part is there are so many people. Men, women, young adults, old adults, gray-haired adults. It was a gray-haired old man. One of the people. The main person I'm talking about, a female, of course. But anyway, it be men too. Grown men. Gray-haired, silver-haired, grown old men. And it's crazy how the enemy will use those exact people to try and get you to be in your feels or to have you feeling some type of way. And those be the exact people who need you. Those be the exact people that need you. Had I allowed myself to actually sit and rest in the fact that I was going to just avoid having to deal with her at all. Sometimes we can avoid the people that we have to work with, that we have to help, that we have to um get them to see differently, right? There are certain people in the Bible who were called to lead, who were called to do work for Christ, and they could not avoid the people that they were called to deal with, that they were called to speak to. Some of us who have been dealing with this cyber stalking, this gang stalking, all of this other foolery and craziness that is going on in the world today, some of us are the type of people where, you know what, I see you, I've acknowledged you, but I'm gonna move out the way. But if you are called and God is trying to use you, sometimes you can't move out of the way, because where you need to be is right in the midst of those that are unaware of just how much more work that they need to do on themselves. And unfortunately and fortunately, because of your light reminds them of that, and that's why they get irritated. But even still, we're called to guard our hearts, right? I could have sat with that and been like, you know what, God, forget this girl. I'm sick of her mess. I'm sick of her fakeness. I don't like fake. I don't like fake at all. I really don't. It's like, first of all, you too grown to be this fake. Nice nasty is a language for a lot of people. And it's really just fake when you could just tell the person directly how you felt and just went about your business. Because it's honestly really that simple. Because you can tell a person how you feel and go on about your business and it be no issue. It just be you need to tell them how you felt, get it off your chest, and continue to move forward. Sometimes it is best to notice something and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just remove myself. Some situations, yes, that is best. Why? Because people's hearts are deceitfully wicked. We know that, right? When that person was spoken to, of course they tried to deny what I was talking about. But the irony is their actions had already revealed their lie. The actions had already revealed the lie. So of course you were going to pretend like you didn't know what I was talking about. But we're not called to harden our heart towards the people who feel a way about our presence or who feel a way concerning what we're doing with our lives. Why? Because they're not going to understand anyway. They're clearly dealing with something internally for them to feel like, one, that talking about you is going to help them elevate. It is not. It's not. I have witnessed people with more who talk about me indirectly and they still ain't got it. They'll tell you they do because they have all the material things that they can flash in front of people who are vain and shallow. And they feel like, oh, these people have accomplished everything because they have all of this stuff. When the word tells us that it's very possible to do all of these things, to work hard for all of these things, to obtain all of these things. But if you don't have love, you have nothing. A lot of people don't have love, and you can see that based off how they treat other people. They don't got love in their heart. They don't have love in their spirit. They don't have love in their mind because all they do is sit and plot deceitful and wicked things. They don't have love. They don't have peace. They don't have joy. So when someone like you, who's good spirited, who does their best on trying to be a good person, shows up and they feel like, oh, I know something about this person. Let me throw it in their face to see, try and get under their skin. Had I allowed that to be the case, I could have missed the door. I could have missed another level because I would have allowed myself to look at that person and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove myself. Sometimes it is very wise to remove yourself in certain situations. It is. But sometimes the main people who have so much to say concerning you or your presence, them be the main one who need your presence. Because they don't realize how ugly they look. Not physically, spiritually. I've seen some very beautiful people with ugly spirits for no reason. No valid reason. They have made up a cause, but it's no valid reason. And sometimes the people that are the loudest, because I experienced so many people who just want to be so loud, deep down, they don't even realize that the spirits that's using and manipulating them, they're so loud because they're deep down crying out for help. They just as trapped as you is, having to carry all of them evil spirits. They need the help, but they too shallow to ask for it. They too worried about things that don't have nothing to do with them. Sometimes the people that spend so much time, so much energy on trying to make you feel some type of way, them the ones that need you the most. They need your presence the most. because they need to understand and they need to realize how much better life can be if they weren't so hateful and spiteful and envious and jealous and just deceitful and wicked. Life is more than that. Life only gets better when you release all of those things and let it all go. But you know what? I'm glad God caught me in a moment where I was already going to relax and spoke with me and dealt with me on that. Some people need your presence because they need the reminder of how good life can be, even when life doesn't look like it's good. They also need to understand that there ain't no amount of monkeys that's gonna stop no show that God is orchestrating. Narcs and they flying monkeys, they don't realize that. And every time you show up, you are the reminder that devil, you're not stopping nothing. So whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, if it's dealing with being stalked, gang stalking, if it's dealing with people who just ugly just because, baby, keep showing up. Keep being you. However you have decided that to be. Now, hopefully it's righteous ways, okay? Because I am a believer and God calls us to be righteous and just. So hopefully you are showing up justly and righteously. But these monkeys don't stop your show. Do what you need to do for your peace, for all of those things, but keep going. So what if they feel away? Sometimes the loudest ones is the main ones that need your help. They just don't know how to ask for it. They don't know how to say, "Excuse me, let me talk to you for a second." They too busy watching from the outside. That the only way they feel like they can get inside is if they continue to throw these jabs and this slander and this gossip. And they feel like that's gonna get them access. And the only access is gonna get them is a spiritual whoop. They want access and they getting access to the wrong doors. Some people don't know how to ask for help. I used to be one of those people. I know how to ask for help. But it's that sometimes the only help you're gonna get is just Jesus. And when he feels like you're ready and able, he'll send you some other people. But sometimes it's just moments where it's just you and Jesus, so you can know his voice over the voice of whoever might come to help you, right? People, we are flawed. We're flawed individuals. I don't get stuff right all the time. That's what allows me the ability to give other people grace. I was about ready to completely cut off dealing with that girl. It's times I don't like being around people at all because they just do too much for no reason. I don't like fake, especially when it's you don't even have no reason to be fake. You just showing up to be ugly today. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking about spiritually ugly. It's a lot of spiritually ugly people. You hear them yelling and lying and making up all types of foolery, all types of crap all the time. Lying without a cause, for no cause, just because, trying to be funny, trying to be cute. And I ain't talking about just the worldly people. I ain't talking about just entertainers. I'm talking about some of these people that profess to be prophets and everything else. They just be lying for no reason. Yeah, I said that. Some of them just be lying for no reason. They don't even have no reason to lie. But because they be trying to be funny, they reveal their heart posture, and they be doing it for no reason. Called by God, but allowing Satan to use you because of your feelings concerning something or someone. Which call you gonna answer? But you know what? My lesson today was sometimes the people that's the loudest, the ones that pretend like they don't watch you, they don't observe you, they need you the most. Because if you was all good, you wouldn't be so loud, trying to be heard, trying to be seen. You would be doing whatever you was doing before the person walked in. Life is beautiful. But if we allow our perspectives to become jaded and all of these different things, then yeah, life can get ugly. But when you're called to deal with people, when God trusts you to deal with people, the enemy will use that exact thing to try to convince you to abort what God is calling you to. I was so grateful for that situation this morning. But that's it. I'm about to go. I just wanted to share that. Sometimes what you're called to is the very area that Satan will use to try and derail you from moving in that direction, from continuing in the right direction. Strong mind, soft heart. Love y'all later. Oh, have a great one. It's middle of the week. Peace out.